I'm Justin Davis, and this is Drone Camps RC. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another review. Today you're looking at the August 2018 giveaway. This is first, second, and third place prizes. We have FXT goggles to give away this month. We have that awesome Drone Camps custom build Switchblade 5-inch FPV racer right there. Second place is the Hobby Mate bundle with a Riot Control flight controller and an iFlight racing drone kit. Third place is the Bugs 3 Pro with GPS. It also has a GoPro holder on there so you can fly a GoPro, GPS and return to home and all that good stuff. So click the link down below if you'd like to help me and support me on my Patreon, and I can give back to you. Let's get on with the video. There it is, guys. The Seafly Dream is on my bench, and now we get to review that one. Super awesome little quadcopter. It is not a DJI Spark competitor. I don't care what anyone says. This is sort of like the top end of toy drones. This 1080p camera looks pretty good, and it does save the videos directly to your phone or an SD card. It has GPS, return to home, follow me, orbit, all that cool stuff, and it has a real-time view on your phone, which doesn't have a whole lot of lag, actually. It's actually a really good frame rate back to my iPhone 7. So let me go ahead and show you some of the specs on this quad. We'll talk about how it flies. I'll show you some examples of it flying, and we'll also show you the retail prices of the bind and fly version, which is basically going to fly it off your phone, or you can get the controller version. But let's go ahead and take it out of the box now, out to the field. I'll show you some awesome stuff with this drone, and we'll show you some video as well. All right, let me go ahead and open up the box for you. This is the Seafly Dream. You can see the USB port there and the micro SD card slot for recording your videos. You've got a little LED display on your battery. You do have brushless motors, which is good, and you have a 2-axis motorized gimbal, which is great. You have optical flow on the bottom, LEDs, and it does have heat vents on the side, which is great because it does get hot in there, folks. And let's look at the frame itself. The frame feels pretty durable in my hands. This is where the battery connects. You have two little slots there that it connects to. And this is a 3S 950 milliamp battery, and nominal voltage 11.4. And it looks like the rated capacity is up to 950 total. And this is a pretty lightweight battery, by the way, so very nice. It does have slots there, and it does have rubber feet on the bottom and LEDs in the back for letting you know what your battery level is. Now let me go ahead and let's talk about this controller. You have your on-off button right there, and it's going to go to green. You have to have all the switches up, by the way, or it'll start to beep at you. You have your photo and video button, your land and auto takeoff button, and you have a return to home switch and something they call channel reservation. Over on the top right, we have a standby switch that's going to stop the drone. And on the top left, we have positions and modes, altitude, position, and we have S for orbit mode right there. And just behind that, we have a little wheel that's for our gimbal up and down. Now this controller has a little 1S battery in here, and this is great because this is a 3.7 volt 2500 milliamp battery, and it is rechargeable. So we can put that back in there, close that up, and now we can recharge this from the transmitter. You also get 2 props inside the box. I wish you got 4, but you also get a quick start guide, and there's plenty of information in here. It's fully packed. And inside here also, you're going to use your QR code reader to get the iOS or Android, and that's the Seafly app. You also get a safety guidelines, little disclaimer package there. You get a EU connector right there, which is nice for you EU guys. And this is the charger, which comes with a US AC outlet. It is chargeable up to 1 amp. That's great. Normally on red it's charging, and green it's ready to go. You just pop this baby on there like that, and in a couple hours time you should have a full charge. Now let's go ahead and set this quad on the scale. This is my favorite part of this entire video right here. 250 grams total takeoff weight. 2 thumbs up for that. That is really awesome. So let's go ahead and pack this baby up and take it out to the field. Guys, here's the Seafly Dream next to the DJI Spark, and it's not a comparison of that one, but there it is anyway. The Spark is 300 grams, by the way, and the Seafly Dream is only 250 grams, as I showed you before, but look at this frame on the outside of it. Now the exterior of the Seafly Dream looks pretty good. It has sort of a light gloss on it. You can see that 2-axis gimbal right there, and the props actually look very similar to the DJI Spark props. You're going to see a slight difference in the aggressiveness of the pitch on this prop. It has more pitch than the Spark. It would seem that they would be faster, but this one's actually a 12 mile an hour total speed. The Spark does go a little bit faster, but the props are almost exactly the same size. Very, very interesting. These are also not quick disconnect. They have 2 bolts right there, whereas the DJI Spark has quick disconnect style props, so a little easier to manage. But let's go ahead and check out this quad, and let's turn on the app first. You're going to go to the Wi-Fi, select the controller. This one connects to your controller because it does have a Wi-Fi range extender built into the controller, which amplifies your Wi-Fi signal, which is super awesome because this one, as I told you before, has a lot less lag. You can see here the video and the photo button, and you also have a little button there for going into your library, which is great. And you can do waypoints on this one, which is super awesome. So you can open up the Google Maps and load that up, and you can do your waypoints, which is really nice. So it'll fly autonomously. You also have other stuff in here, beginner mode, which is great, virtual joystick setting. You have a novice mode setting. You can limit the distance, the height. It tells you your voltage, and this is where you're going to RC pair if you need to pair back up to your transmitter, and you can calibrate the compass from here as well. So let's go ahead and do our auto takeoff now, and let's check out the hover on the Seafly Dream. Looking pretty good for my first compass calibration. Seems really, really easy to control. The controls do not feel robotic, which I like a lot. But let's go ahead now and let's fly out there just a little ways and check out the camera on this quad. Now you're looking at the camera view right here, and this is what you see is what you get, folks, right here. I did notice that it does have a bit of a blue hue, and I can see some pixels in this video. Do I see a lot of stuttering? No, and that's absolutely awesome. A lot of the other toy drones out there have a lot of video stutter, so what that means is you're gonna see a frame drop, even like a couple seconds worth of frame drop, and then it's gonna cut to the next part. So I don't see any kind of lag in here, which is super great in the video. There is a tiny bit of jello at times. I do see a little bit of shutter on the yaw axis in this if you look over to the left of the screen. But now I'm going to go up a little bit, and we're going to see how it handles an ascent. So I'm coming up just over these trees right here. But I got to tell you, folks, for the price that this one's going for, I think this is looking pretty good as far as a toy grade drone goes. Now I can show you a little bit of Spark footage here in just a minute, and I'll show you the vast difference. Now the Spark is actually about $100 to $150 more expensive than this quadcopter, so it's not a real fair comparison. I've seen other reviewers do it, and this is definitely not a Spark killer by any means, but this video looks pretty decent, and I'll show you some footage from other popular toy drones. I'm just going to compare it. We have the Bugs 2 here. This is the video from the Bugs 2, and now we'll show you the Bugs 3 Pro, and that was one that I just reviewed recently. You can check that video out, and then we'll go back to the Seafly Dream here, and I see a tiny bit of shutter here, but it was really, really windy on the day that I flew it, and this is interesting to me mainly because I trust this quad even in this kind of wind. It seemed like it held its position really well. Right there, the horizon line looks a little bit off, and that's probably due to the wind. It's kind of pushing back, and the wind is actually over to the right of this quad. I'm just using a little bit of yaw there, but I trust this quad. It feels really good in my hands. It's probably a great trainer, GPS trainer quad, mainly because it didn't have any strange characteristics when I flew it. It didn't take off and kind of wander around too much. The sticks don't feel robotic. It actually feels like, as far as the controls go, I would say it feels like the DJI Spark. Now that's probably where I could compare it to the Spark, is the controls. The controls actually feel better than something like the MJX Bugs series quads, and I've complained before about that to you guys, that the Bugs series quads, they feel a little bit robotic in the controls. And right now I'm descending, and there's a little bit of jitter there. And again, I could pick another drone here to show you from my list of drone reviews out there. And let's just cut to the front camera view here. Now that was a fun flight around the field. Let's just go ahead and bring it back over to me, get it a little closer to the camera so you guys can see this up close and see what it looks like in the air. This is a pretty cool looking little quad. it is holding its position extremely well. And I had up to like 19 satellites on this quad, so I'm pretty impressed with the amount of satellites that I got with it. Just as many as the Spark gets again. A little mild comparison there. They are both rocking GLONASS, so you should get over 18 satellites with this quad. But very predictable quad. There's the little gimbal wheel. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take off and do sort of a manual, like selfie reveal style fly out. Sort of reveal my location there. We do that a lot with the DJI drones. They have an automatic built-in mode for that. But okay, so that was fun. Let's try out some of the modes. We're going to try orbit mode, and we'll try the tracking mode, the follow me mode. First, we'll try out the orbit. So I'm going to go ahead and switch into the orbit mode. Now, this is what's going to happen if you don't set a distance for it. You can click on the screen and push away from you, and it will actually give you more distance before you tap into orbit mode. You have to read that up in the manual, because this is what's going to happen to you if you don't do that. So there I go again. So let's go ahead and try the follow me mode, and I'm going to take it out of that orbit mode. Now let's go ahead and try out the follow me mode. This didn't work so well for me for some reason. Maybe it was too close to me, but you can see that sort of jerking motion on the yaw axis. I'm not really 100% sure what was going on there. Maybe it needed just a little more distance for it to work. Maybe it was too close, but yeah, I thought maybe it would have stabilized the video a little bit better, but I definitely had some yaw twitch going on there for some reason. Maybe we'll try that again in another video, but for today's video, that didn't work out so well. But overall, I gotta say, this is a pretty decent drone for, I think it was like $219, not too bad. Let's just go ahead and fly out a little bit further here, and I'll show you some flying footage. Let's just go cruise around with this guy. And like I said, there is a bit of wind today. And when you get closer to the ground with these cameras, you can start to see more detail. Look at that, you can see the individual blades of grass. I do see some pixelization in there. I'm just gonna flip the camera up a little bit for you. And the best thing about this quad is probably the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi definitely scores the highest mark out of any toy quad that I've flown this year. It's better than the Bugs 3 Pro. It's better than the Dobby drone. It's better than the Bugs 2. And it's better than a lot of the SEMA and CX 10 style drones that I've flown that have built-in Wi-Fi. They just don't have that amplifier inside it, so that's what makes a big difference with this drone. The amplifier is really nice. Right now we're just checking out a little bit of a hover. And the flight time, guys, I gotta say I'm super happy with the flight time. I was getting well over 12 minutes with this. Real time, total flight time till the battery died, I got close to 14 minutes. And I really wish they had sent me 2 batteries, because this drone is a lot of fun to fly. I think it flies as good as my Spark, and I know I'm not supposed to be comparing it to my Spark, but it does fly every bit as good as the Spark, and it's 250 grams, whereas the Spark is 300 grams. Now I'm just doing a little slow cruising here so you guys can check out what the video looks like on a slow cruise. A nice little tree farm over there we're approaching. And it's been so hot out lately, it looks like a lot of their stuff has died down there. That's a real shame. I don't know if it's very hot where you are, but it's scorching where we are. It was over 95 degrees the other day, and today when I'm flying this for you guys, it's over 90 degrees again. So it's also flying in over 90 degree weather, and everything inside seems to check out on this drone, so that's the good news. And now I'm coming back in on a return to home. It's gonna land itself because I'm at that low battery point. It's got 3 levels of return to home: switch, low voltage, and out of range. So if you fly it out of range, it'll fly home, which is super cool. I was pretty far out there, not too far, but you're gonna get about maybe 0.3 miles out of this quadcopter, so that's pretty cool. Thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. I'm Justin Davis, And this has been my Sleep Fly dream. Guys, take care. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.